All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and jump back in. Thanks for waiting. Let's bring you guys in. All right. We're no longer in turn order, but you guys can go ahead and move about.
I hear Greybeard and his axe clatter, and I look back. Pause for a second, and then turn back to the the cocoons and assist Armel in trying to open them, figure out what's in them.
Does this cave keep going in this direction?
Yes, it continues. It no longer has any webs in it, but it does continue northward.
All right. I'll just go up
And-
to about here where I can see down a ways and confirm that it's just a cave going on. And then
Yeah,
head
as
back
far as
over
you can
towards
tell,
the
it
rest.
goes at least another 50, 60 feet.
All right.
Probably
I'll
more.
head back over with the party then and start searching.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're going to undo somebody, go ahead and just make a DC 12 strength check as you try to rip the webs apart. Ardreth, you can, if you wish, try to make an investigation roll to get your short sword back. As long
I
as you
definitely
roll,
wish.
as long as
And
you
then-
roll
and then I-
8 or higher, I'm going to let you find it again.
And then I yell, "Yo, dwarf, come help." What am I rolling this on? 20?
Yeah, just a 1d20
Right.
roll 8 or higher.
Yeah, I'm scared to see what it's going to look
Oh,
like.
you should have investigation on your sheet. You should be able to click the word on your character sheet. It'll add in any bonuses you have.
Do I get a bonus of 1 for using my dart head?
Hey,
Minus 1 for
I
the
roll a
strength.
17 for it. So.
You do find the short sword
Yeah,
wedged in
but what
a.
can do-
Yeah, it was just wedged in some rocks, and you
Okay,
you
good.
actually you walk by it and you think, boy, this would have been easy just to bypass. I'm glad I have eagle eyes and I saw it.
Yay. Even though I can't seem to shoot in the dark, I can at least find a lost
Yeah.
axe.
And you can take back 1/3 of your arrows
Okay.
that you fired. The rest have either been broken or are in such a disarray that you cannot use them any longer.
Okay.
What's up with javelins?
I would say 1/3 of them again. So 1/3 of whatever you threw at them.
So
Darts
Dan-
too, there, Jarrel.
Dan, I'm going to use the last 21 seconds of that flaming sphere, just kind of roll it around.
Yeah, that's fine. You can
Before
probably
we
get
go
rid
out.
of, while you're doing that, you can get rid of most of those webs that are around there. We won't even worry about them. And so you do get the guy open, and the one that you're looking at there, you see this is an orc body. Seems to be desiccated, seems to have been being eaten, and has probably been here quite a while now that you have it open.
Okay.
There you are.
Hi, PB.
Oh, yay. Yes. Awesome. Okay.
That was mine, Dan?
Yeah, that was this one right here. Is an orc
All right.
body. Jarrel, you rolled an 11, but you needed just one more. So what happened is it just takes you longer. It's not that you can't do it. It just takes a little longer than the initial just rip it open. So you're going to fiddle with it a little bit longer. What's anybody else want to do at this point?
I'm going to
Alright.
continue searching around. So either if I find another cocoon or I'm looking for chests or
There are
treasure
2
or
more
whatever.
cocoons in this area, and
I'll go over
you
to
still
one.
see spider webs. Okay, go
I'll
ahead.
go over to one of them and I'll use the sacks that I pulled out of the wall and try to cut it open. You said
Yep.
you roll what again?
Yeah,
Okay.
so just DC 12
Okay.
to try to get it all off of the guy. Okay, so same thing. It's not that you're not going to get it. It's just taking it longer.
taking
It's having a
longer.
hard time
Right.
getting through the webbing.
Because it's
And
a dull.
which one are you
sacks
going
now
to do?
'cause
You
it
have
got-
the bottom one, or you have this one? Which one?
I'll go for the second one.
Second one? Okay. So go ahead and move over to it too. The webbing's gone now. The flame is taking care of the webbing. Okay. So Greybeard is crouched. Armel, are you going to stay spider form or what's happening here?
I don't see any reason to jump out of spider form right now.
Okay.
So I'll shift over to the next corpse and
The lower one. Actually, how long can you stay in form? Just forever?
geez, you're gonna ask me to look up my character sheet. But it's a long time.
I'm going to
Yeah,
ask you
it's
to
like-
know your character.
It's like hours.
Hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can go ahead and try to rip that one open. DC 12. Yeah. So at the same time you're ripping that one open, Jarrel, you're also getting that one open now. And Jarrel, you see a human guard named Jace is in this cocoon.
Is he alive?
Make a investigation roll or a medicine roll.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, you think he's unconscious.
All right. Then if I think he's unconscious, then I will attempt to bandage him up.
Yeah, you don't see any like slashing wounds. It's there's a puncture mark that's in his chest, but it's not bleeding. No blood is coming out whatsoever. You don't see anything else that you can really do, but he does seem to be unconscious. And then Armel, as you open up that last one, you see a human you don't recognize is in this cocoon.
Is
Can I
it
make-
Armel or Ardreth?
Armel.
Okay.
So I'll yell back to do do I know which of us has healing ability?
Of your
I think
party
you
members,
should know that
probably
I do because I've done
Armel.
it before.
And I'm sure you've seen me cast. I'm sure I've cast a heal on you before.
I apologize, and this is gonna
Sorry.
sound so bad, but I confuse Armel and Ardreth. I can't remember which one's which.
That's all right.
Just
Racist.
those people? Is that how it is?
exactly.
Those people,
Yeah,
those damn
people.
elves.
You magic people.
Spider racist.
So
Yeah,
fun.
I'm a
Drow. Coming from a drow.
All you elves
Yeah.
look the same.
How do you think I feel?
So I'll just yell out for I think this one's alive.
Okay.
I need help.
Armel, yeah, somebody will need to make a medicine check on that one. I assume you could in spider form.
In spider
I guess.
form. It would be so
That
funny if
seems
this person woke
crazy.
up.
Be like an
Prodner,
alien probing.
Prodner, poke, poke, poke.
Yeah, go ahead and try a medicine check. Yeah, this.
I do have proficiency in that too. I don't know if that makes a difference for it.
Yeah, it should add it in. That gave you the +5 and everything. Yeah. Oh no, it should have given you +2 if you had proficiency, but that's still high enough. This person also, you can tell, is unconscious.
All right, I will shift out as my bonus action. Or I guess we're not on turns, but I'll shift out.
Okay.
And cast heal on him.
All right, so let me do some transfer here. And let me move this one out. All right, can you move that token again?
Got it.
All right. Flame is out at this point. How long is your fairy fire ones last, Jarl?
A minute. Up to a minute.
Yeah. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I can move.
Yeah, they're going to be out by the time.
Yeah.
So,
So
you're going to
I'll
get
just
it back
recast
up,
it.
and then it's going to, yeah.
I'll recast it in this area here.
Okay, so we'll leave it there for a minute. All right. So the spell for healing. Yeah,
7.
so you heal him. Still unconscious, but the wound that you see was like a puncture wound on him does heal up, but they are unconscious.
Okay.
Ardreth, you finish. You're the last one to get the last one out, and as you open it up, it is the body of a goblin, and it appears to be dead.
Damn goblin. All right.
All right. As soon as I'm done healing this guy, Dan, I'll go over and heal the one that Jarl's opened up.
Okay, so you can move over there and cast a heal. All right. Yeah, so same thing. You see the wound, the chest wound kind of heal as the skin begins to stitch itself back together, but the person remains unconscious.
Whilst they're doing that, I glance about, hoping to see a treasure or weapon or anything.
You can do a search. So a search is going to be... let's get rid of this.
I'd also like to check the ceiling. Just while I'm standing there waiting.
Sure. Yeah, you see stalagmites throughout the room, webbing, lots of webbing on the ceiling. And then the searching you're going to want to do... Let me bring a character sheet up. So I can figure out what skill would be appropriate. I believe when you're searching, it's investigation.
Yep.
So you can go ahead and make an investigation roll.
Too depressed.
Yeah, you're finding, cracked bones, skeletons, definitely refuse of things that have been eaten. You're finding webs. You're not finding any further cocoons. You're not seeing anything else.
Very dejectedly, like I said, my heart's not in it, but deep in my dwarven soul, my short arms and my deep pockets are making me at least try.
Sure.
Just shuffling around with your hands in your pockets, kicking rocks.
All right. Yeah, anybody can make the search. You pretty much search around and you're not finding anything of value anywhere else. The cave does lead off to the north. It feels like it goes for another at least probably 100 yards, and the one to the west also goes at least another 100 yards, unless anybody's going to actually follow him to the end.
I think we've gotten what we came for.
Yeah, I'll just say we need to get these people to safety. We need to leave now.
Well,
Agreed.
I'll hoist up one of the two survivors, and I guess I'll just have to pick them up if they're unconscious and start walking out.
Okay.
I'll try.
Yeah, you'll be at half speed while carrying another person. I believe Greybeard's at half speed.
We'll all be slow.
So, all right.
No, I could...
Go ahead.
Oh, I could probably carry a person and still move half speed with my strength, but yeah, I'd be at a disadvantage for any kind of checks.
No, you can make 10-foot move, sure.
Exactly.
Okay, so you guys start trudging your way back through the cave, and that ends up bringing you back over to the other cave. Let me switch you. Let's go back into the dripping caves here for just a moment.
We're coming, Ian.
It takes you probably at least 20 minutes to get back to the crevasse. And now you're at the crevasse. You have the two bodies. It's 20 feet down.
Bust out our rope. Do a lower down. Pull back up the other side.
Yep.
Okay. Only the person that's going to scramble up the other side needs to make an athletics check or an acrobatics check to get back up. Or if you're going to make a jump.
Could we say that's just going to take us another 20 minutes?
Sure, as long as somebody doesn't fall.
I can make.
Oh.
I'll try unless Jarl's feeling feisty.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, and you're just doing the
Wait.
Scrabble, or are you doing the jump?
I'll do the just down and Scrabble back up, but I'll use my Bardic Inspiration too,
Okay, sure.
since a 7's kind of low.
Yep. Roll 1d6. All right. Yeah. So you're able to get your way back up. You have the rope. What's the rope tied to, or what's going on with the rope?
Well, I just kind of figured we could tie the ropes around one person and then just essentially toss the rope over the other side and pull them back up the other side. I mean, if we got 50 feet,
Okay. Yeah.
and it's only
So
20 feet down.
so you lower them carefully to the ground. I'm assuming in the crevice is what you're saying.
Yep.
And then
And
you're
just
gonna
drag
pull
them
them
back
up. Yeah. And then are you gonna pull the others up, or if they're gonna just make a Scrabble up, they need to make a roll?
Oh, I mean, we've got the rope. As long as I'm up on the other side, I can always help them up with the rope.
So would that be like scrambling
Give a
with
climb assist.
advantage?
No. If he's gonna help, I'll just let that happen. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's gonna take you probably another. It probably takes you guys a half hour.
Okay.
You're trying not to damage the unconscious people. Actually, we have Jace and the other person. Let me move that back to the token layer. There we go. Okay. We'll use those to represent them. So yeah, you guys can be across the crevice now. So an hour's gone by. While we're doing that, let's cut over a moment to Ian.
Cool.
So Ian, you've been on the march with a group of 24 humans, mostly children, some old people, one guard with you, Tegan, on a march to the south. Go ahead and talk to me a little bit about how you're trying to march them. What's the order? Have you given them any instructions? What's going on with that?
So the order is I have the adults split up between the front of the ranks and the back of the ranks. So I think you said there were 5. So there were 2 up front and 3 in the back. And Tegan's off on one of my flanks and I'm up ahead with the other 2. I have Teagray in a fireman's carry over my shoulder, and all the children are in the middle.
Okay.
And the instructions I've given them are that if anything happens, if anything attacks us, that the children need to follow the adults as they sprint off, and the people in the back to make sure that none of the young children get left behind. That it's their job to make sure they herd all of the children forward at fast as they can go if we get attacked. And I tell Tegan that if anything does attack us, that I will try to herd them away from the group, and that she should follow the group and protect them from any other dangers. So if anything goes wrong, I'm dropping Teagray and I'm going to herd away whatever's attacking us, or try to lead them away, distract them until they can run.
Okay.
So that's the instructions I've given them. And basically we've just been in a march. I've been like dead silent. I have no interest in talking with any of these people. If anybody's tried to make any conversation with me, it's been very short answers from me.
Okay. So
trying
go
to
ahead and
conserve as much energy.
give me a charisma roll.
Oh, I'm great at those. Guys, I'm great. Where's my character sheet? There it is. Oh,
Okay.
not awful. Considering.
Yeah, so what you notice is most of them are listening to you. Most of them are pretty intimidated by you. But it's still hard to herd them all in one direction and keep them close enough to each other and they're not wandering in and out of line. but you're doing a pretty good job of it. You're having to stop every now and then to get everybody to stay closer again, to get to each other. You're constantly having to look back, and you're realizing a little bit that you're not as vigilant as you can be because you're having to constantly look back and see where they're at and what they're doing with such a large group. And so you start to feel a little antsy about being worried about being attacked because you can't keep your attention on your surroundings as much as you want. But you make it off. So an hour goes by and you have not seen the party at this point. Are you going to force march on through until you get to Nightstone?
Yep.
Okay. So at this point, you're going to continue marching them. And we're going to say after a very stressful for you, intense 3 hours on edge, you see the walls of Nightstone come into view. And though you've been worried the entire time that the worst was going to happen, you have not been attacked on the track back south. But you also realize that you have not seen the party, has not caught up to you during those 3 hours.
Okay.
And you see the walls of Nightstone come into view.
I march on ahead to Nightstone.
All right. So let's move into the Nightstone map.
Screen.
It's going to take a second to load because it's the big one. All right. I'm going to zoom way out for those that are watching. I know you probably want to have me zoomed in, but there's going to be a lot that goes on that's not combat related. So I'm going to zoom out just so you get an idea of how big this town is and what's going on. So let's see. Objects and tokens. There we go. So Ian, we're just going to put you here for now. The rest of you are up off the map, up at the cave. But over these 3 hours, you've begun to head south. Or, well, we'll see here in just a second what you guys are doing. And you have a whole line of people in tow.
Hello.
So Ian, you keep marching them down, and you see on the guard tower, you see Sidiri is on duty. You happen to recognize him. And the gate is down still, and you have a whole line of townsfolk. And once they see the walls, there's kind of a relief of they finally feel like, oh, we're finally out of this mess. And from the northern area, you're not able to see as much of the destruction as you march them south. And then several of the guards, even a few of the mercenaries, will come to the bridge, and they kind of help you start herding people into Nightstone. And we'll just kind of move you along into the Nightstone proper here. And basically you're seeing, again, there was, you see one of the town guards, Sidiri, is up on the tower. One of the mercenaries that you recognize from Zolkin's group is also on a tower, was on guard. The other ones are there helping people kind of just... Everybody's just kind of sitting in the town circle as we try to figure out. You also see an elf you don't recognize, and two elves that you don't recognize are also there, that you've never met and are in the town center also. And so let's jump over to, while that's happening really quick, let's do an introduction there. Finn, you see coming through the gates a elf with a bunch of townsfolk. Now, you've been in Nightstone. You got in Nightstone late the evening before. You had heard from the people that are here that a group of adventurers had went north to try to find the townsfolk. And you and Coffee have been here for the evening. It is now... let's see, it was 11 when you left, Ian.
It's like 4 or 5
So yeah,
hours.
so it's probably about 2-3 o'clock now in the afternoon when you come rolling up. We'll say it's about 3. That just seems right. So you've been here, and then so let's have that. So go ahead, Finn, and give her a description of what she sees when she sees you. What do you look like as people are taking a look at you?
He is, you would say, big for an elf, but you can tell he's probably not full-blooded elf. He's a half-elf. He's wearing quite a bit of armor. He's got horns on his helmet, and he spent quite a bit of time in your forest, so you might even recognize some of the markings on his armor as an escort for Waymeat. Sorry.
A male escort? What?
He's definitely got a military bent to him. He looks like a soldier, of an elven soldier for sure. But again, most of his markings on his body would be kind of nature related. A lot of green.
Armor, weapons,
Lots of armor. He's got chain, shield on his back, sword on one hip, axe on the other, and a bow.
Cool.
Do you have those antlers?
He does have those antlers.
Sweet.
And standing next to him is another elf of about, you would guess somewhere around 200, maybe a little more years old. Has 2 swords, I believe, strung on his back. He didn't put a full description on his character sheet, so I can't read that out. We'll just assume it looks like the token for now, and then we'll let him come in on our next session and give you guys a full description. But it's another elf, and I think is he a moon elf also? Oh, he just says elf. He didn't say which type on the sheet. So
I'm thinking he's exactly like he looks like on that token.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but does definitely have 2 swords. So definitely, you're not quite sure. You're not able to figure out what type of, class he is, I guess. You wouldn't just recognize him right off. And you see them kind of eyeing you as you come up. And go ahead and give us another description of Ian. So this is what they see. And that'll just, for those that are joining us on the session, they'll hear what Ian looks like one more time.
Well, a modified version of Ian, since she's been in battle for like the past day and in a dark, dank cave and been carrying a fucking dead Teagray on her. As I walk in, they see me. Really, I usually don't have a very pleasant look on my face, just in general. But today, I'm feeling super stressed about having to herd stupid humans and carrying my dead friend on my shoulder for hours and leaving a bunch of idiots back in the cave who may or may not be dead. Who knows? So I'm looking like super stressed. So my, as Colonel puts it, my resting bitch face is looking extra bitchy today. I'm looking stressed. I look dirty. My long brown hair that's usually up in a ponytail out of my face, having all my hair out of my face, it's a little bit askew. There's probably dried blood caking really a lot of my armor, which is all leather armor. I have an undershirt that is all sorry, I'm reading what's happening in chat and I'm laughing. I'm wearing like a long green shirt. I'm not very tall. I'm like 5'6", like normal, or like 5 something. I'm a normal sized elf, but short in comparison to a lot of people. I'm fairly slim. I have my longbow strapped to my back, along with a quiver. A nice looking quiver now because I replaced it with that very nice looking quiver that I got from Sidiri before we left. I have my backpack under my back. I have a hand axe on one hip and the dagger on the other. Ooh, what else? Oh, I have a bloody staff that I picked up from that guard that died when I gave it to them before I left the cave. And yeah, you see me carrying a dead something on my shoulder. I have yet to put him down. I'm still carrying him. And just ushering humans and little baby children and little baby humans into the place. And I'm also equally eyeing you guys along with the mercenaries. I trust none of you guys. I'm very uncomfortable here. And that's what
All
you
right.
see.
Finn will walk up and from about 10 feet away do a respectful bow with both hands open and say, "Greetings, Ian. My name is Finway Han Ashar from Evermeet. I have come to render what aid I can."
How do you know my name?
I've been here overnight. I've heard from everyone about the braveness and boldness of your party.
And resting bitch face.
And clearly, you are the
Active.
one
Legendary.
they speak of as Ian.
Um,
I didn't say resting bitch face. That's just mean. You're just grim. You're a little grim right now.
Grim. Grimmer than normal.
How may I aid you?
Should be triumphant because you succeeded in you saving the village.
Resurrect our friend. Oh, I'm not there. Sorry.
Yeah. How may you aid us? What are you good at?
Well, my talents lie in various fields. Primarily, I'm a soldier, though. I work with the escort for Evermeet, taking elves from the high forests to our new homeland.
Well, that is interesting. That does not help me at this very moment. Maybe once I go and look back for my companions.
Where are your companions? I also come here seeking my cousin Teagray.
Oh.
About that.
Oh, snap.
Teagray. What do you guys remember Teagray's full name? It started with an L. His last name.
Let me say, I'll check his character sheet. Let me look if he put it on there.
I thought T was his first name. Gray was his last name.
Nice.
Nope.
You never
Yeah,
knew
he
him at
didn't
all.
put
You
anything in
didn't know
there.
him at all, did you?
Oh wait,
It's
hold on.
Litharian. I have it written down. I have his
There you
entire
go.
past.
Yeah.
Teagray. His original name was Teagrail, if you guys were curious.
God, did you guys
No.
know Teagray at all? Monsters.
Hey, until a couple weeks ago, I thought he was a girl.
This explains a
Wow.
lot.
That was funny until he died.
I
Yep.
know. It's bad now.
Yeah. Okay.
You-
Yeah.
you-
Continue on.
You said cousin? You said cousin?
I did.
Teagray? Teagray, Litharian. I switched over to Elven, speaking in Elven. Teagray, Litharian, fell in a battle against a black ooze, protecting these humans. After he fought very bravely against a horde of goblins and orcs and rats, but he was finally felled by this black ooze before any of us could get to him and save him. And I feel very awkward about this entire thing, so I just I place him down and I don't place him. Well, I don't know how do you do this? Oh my gosh, I'm just carrying him like nothing on my shoulder. I gently start placing him down in front of me, nudging him off my shoulder, and
I'll step forward and take him from you, and say
And,
your
this-
burden is now mine.
like, I'm sorry we were not able to save him. He was a great wizard and a fine warrior.
Couldn't have been that great.
Yeah, right. my companions, they stayed in the cave trying to find a guard who had been taken by some unknown entity whilst in the chaos of battle, they decided to go check it out. And we have not seen them. We marched on with the daylight because I wish to bring these people home instead of riling up more threats that could possibly kill these humans, these fragile humans.
What you have done is a right and good thing. And Finn will look over to Coffee, who has been traveling with him for quite some time, and with Teagray in his arms, he'll say, "We should place him to rest." And he'll look at Ian and say, "Can we leave this village and go to the forest and do this?"
Yes, we may.
Okay, so
There are no other elves in Nightstone at all, right?
no, the only other elf would be probably Ardreth, right? Oh, and Jarrel.
But they're not here.
Yeah.
But they're
Jarrel's not
there.
a
Yeah,
real
they're not
elf.
there.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Okay, yeah. While you guys are talking about that, so you're kind of standing over the body. You see the villagers and the children are being taken care of by Kaelin and Alara and Sidiri, which were all the guards from Nightstone that have survived. Tegan is there. You see they're kind of looking at people and they're starting to get an idea of who's made it back and who hasn't. Before we move too much further on, let's go back to our other group. I'm not going to change maps, but we're just going to talk about the group that's at the cave. So it took you about an hour to get through the cave. You have the two unconscious people with you, and you're all kind of walking pretty slow. So you're at the cave mouth. I don't want to assume what you guys were going to do. So tell me what you're going to do at this point. You're at the cave mouth, stepping into the sunlight.
I'm gonna suggest that we just continue back to town, see if we can either catch up or get to the town with Ian.
I'm good with that, but I'll grab some food from my backpack and water and whatnot on the way back.
How about we make a couple of drags for these guys?
Oh, good idea.
Yeah,
I can do
probably
that.
carrying
That's
bodies for 3
survival.
hours could
So
be
we
pretty
should
tough.
drag these guys, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. No, use a bedroll and some sticks. Come on now.
Okay. Yeah, you scrounge it up. Yeah, survival check. That's a good high check. It only takes you about 15 minutes to find enough large branches. You use some of the blankets and crap that you find from the Goblin Cave because there's plenty of the just kind of, blankets and stuff laying around. And you make up two kind of little stretcher-like things that you can either have one person dragging one body, or are you going to try to just carry the bodies in stretcher style?
We have 4 people, right?
Yeah, Armel can carry or drag somebody pretty easily.
If we have 4, we can do 2 and 2. We can carry them.
Yeah.
Up to you guys. Yeah.
Like as a stretcher.
Yeah. Like.
I mean, we're only going to be slowed down by the dwarf at this point, right?
You're not. Yeah, you're not going to move fast at all.
right.
He's moving 10 no matter what.
So if we're slow anyway, might as well just do 2 and 2.
Because I think it's normally 20, right?
25. And then, but, I'm a nut job. I'm willing to try to use the dash action to keep up normal speed and making rolls or whatever I got to do to try.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to move fast, especially carrying bodies. I mean, maybe if it was just the 4 of you on your own, but not only do you have a second level exhausted dwarf of exhaustion, or do you go to 3rd at this point?
No, second. I didn't frenzy in that last battle.
Okay. And then, yeah, you have 2 bodies. One is human, fairly heavy. The other one is human, but smaller. Actually, one of them is a female.
If we took a rest and listened to some bardic singing, would that help at all?
That would help on your hit points, but I don't think it would help on his exhaustion.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're
How
going to be
far
slow
are we-
getting back. It took them 3.5 hours. It's probably going to take you guys 4.5, maybe 5 hours to get back.
And what time of day is it?
You come out. They've moved on an hour by the time you come out of the cave, so it's probably noon but you scavenge some stuff to use. You get ready to go. So let's say 12:30 is when you're heading out.
Little
All
June
right.
30.
If we don't decide to rest, I say we just power through.
So if we do rest, the bardic song of rest will do 3 hit points per hour.
I'm not damaged.
Yeah, and Armel lost all of his damage when he came out of spider form.
So cheaty.
I know.
Yeah,
And
I don't think
just
the
wanna use
issue
one of
for you
my-
guys is the damage part. But yeah, you can go ahead. I mean, it won't take
I'll
you.
use one of my cure wounds to get my hit points back up then.
Okay.
All right. We're taking a short rest, and we can use a hit dice.
Or you can use as many hit dice as you want, or the ones that you didn't
This
use
one automatically.
the last
So
time.
the song of rest automatically does 3 hit points.
All right. I only have 1 hit die left, so.
Oh, no, you guys did a long rest, so you should have all your hit dice back.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Because you
Alright.
did a long rest before you went further into the cave.
Yeah, but if we lost,
We
I
only
lost
get
some
one.
in the battle with the spider though.
We only get 1 hit die back with the rest, though.
A long
Yeah,
rest?
you only get,
I
Yeah,
thought
you
we
only
only
get
get
half
1
of
hit,
them back.
hit die back.
you get half of them back.
Half of them?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it wasn't full.
Oh, I thought you got them all.
Nope. You gotta balance it somehow.
All right, so you guys take any other things you want to say as you're starting to travel south?
I just want to note that it looks like after that rest, the dwarves fully healed. Still exhausted, but none of his wounds are bleeding or oozing or anything like that.
Yep, okay. All right, so yeah, and then halfway to Nightstone, the sun continues to go down. You travel another couple of hours, and you see the tall walls of Nightstone come into view. But it's taken you about 4.5 hours traveling
There was
south.
much rejoicing.
You do get a little bit of moaning from one of the unconscious people, but they're still definitely unconscious. It seems that Armel probably would know, and even Ardreth would probably know. It seems like even though that you've cured their wounds, it's the poison that's that their body is still trying to fight and reject, and that's probably what's been keeping them unconscious. But they're slowly looking better than they were as you continue. All right, so several hours goes away, and just as let's see, that's going to be, so it's about 5:30ish, maybe 6ish. You're at the drawbridge and you're coming across. So that's 2 hours for the Ian crew, Finn, and Coffee to do anything if they think they need to in that 2 hours, or if you just want to wait for the group, or what.
We need to bury Teagray
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's.
and do our elven ceremonies.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our second break of the evening. I'm going to go ahead and put you on the character sheet so you guys can see that. By this time next week, I will have the updated character sheets with the new characters that we just introduced, Coffee and Finn. When we come back, we will see the funeral ceremony for Teagray, and then we will have the reunion of the group returning to Nightstone. So be back in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned. We got a little bit more to go. Hope you guys are liking it. See you in just a bit.